All right, y'all. This is something that's been on my mind for a while, and I really wanted to talk about it, but I wanted to get my words together, and I'm kind of going through some personal issues, so I haven't really wanted to just jump on camera and talk. But this is important. I read a lot, and I read an article by one of my idols. Well, I don't like that word, but I really look up to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He's one of the greatest NBA players of all time. He was the LeBron of his day. He was bigger than LeBron. This man caused rule changes in the game, so he was pretty big. But he wrote an article about Adrian Peterson's situation and child abuse, and one of the things he said is not everybody is basically saying everybody isn't capable of raising a child, and we need to stop saying this is how I was raised, and that's not an excuse. And I agree with him, but there's a point I want to make. What Adrian Peterson did in the eyes of most black people is nothing, because we've been treated like this systematically for hundreds of years. It's called slave community. I learned about this book. It's a book. I can't even remember the guy's name, but if you watch the movie Antoine Fisher, when he talks about the abuse that he went through as a kid, Denzel Washington turns him on to a book called Slave Community. I need all my white friends out there to go get this book. It's at Amazon. It's everywhere. The book is called Slave Community. It talks about the effects that slavery has had on black people throughout history and how it still lingers today. What happened to Adrian Peterson's child was wrong. What happened to Adrian Peterson's child was gruesome, but it's normal, and it was taught, and this is something that's been systematically done to black people, and we passed it on from generation to generation. And you would say, well, that's not our fault. You should have stopped it. No, no, no. Let me stop somewhere. I'll give you an example, and I do this with, I embarrass my own parents who are on Facebook, so I'm sorry, but this is the truth. I remember one time getting beat so bad with extension cord, to where I was at school and I pissed my pants because I couldn't pull them off because the scabs had stuck my underwear to my ass. And when I wet my pants, they sent me to the counselor. And the counselor asked what was going on. I had to explain to her I can't take these clothes off. They are stuck to me. That opened a whole can of worms. A whole can of worms. Now you would think, oh, somebody's going to jail. Oh, no, my parents did not go to jail. No one was arrested. In fact, I was put in counseling. I was put in counseling, not my parents. I was put in counseling. We've looked the other way for years. We've said this is okay. We need to stop saying it's okay. That's what we need to do. And then we also need to accept that this is a legacy of treatment that we put on people for centuries. We have to do something to correct it. You can't teach me that this. You can't beat me and then tell me I can't beat my child. You have to teach me how to discipline. Like I watched the movie 12 Years a Slave, and I love the part where they're beating they have the quota where they go through and they count the cotton. And I think it's Brad Pitt, or it's a white gentleman. He's an indentured servant. He's actually paid. But he picks cotton and he picks well below his quota. And the slave guy's like, oh, you'll do better. Now this black girl, she picks 5 times as much as everybody else, but she still gets beat because this is what they do. Until we change things, this is what we do.